is alive again, alive with colors of joy. The canvas of the free sky has been decorated with colors of joy. The dancing winds whispering in the ears, asking to release the strings so they could take the paper birds to dance and whirl with them. Let them take flight to the blue skies and smile down with their tails fluttering. Let them soar along with the winds and feel the freedom of the pure skies, where the country, religion, color and sex do not matter. Only hundreds of smiles, waving and shining down on the whole world. No skies are high enough if we come together to achieve them. Creativity breaks all barriers. Let's attach the strings of hope and allow our visions to fly high. For however different we all seem, it's one God, one life, one sky, one world. India has a very ancient kite tradition. The Indian fighter kite is one of the most popular kites in the world. Most people believe that kites were first brought into India by the Chinese travelers Fa Hien and Huan Sang. From there, the kites have taken their own evolutionary route in India. They are made of tissue paper and bamboo, and almost all Indian kites have a very similar shape. A diamond-shaped piece of tissue with a central spine and a single bow. The differences lie in the many patterns and colors used to make the paper sail. Indian kite festivals are not just celebrated with the joy of kite flying, but also with competitiveness. So Indian kite makers concentrate more on the accuracy of a kite's construction rather than its decoration. The traditional Indian kites are not very decorative or made with two-dimensional or three-dimensional designs, but the Indian kite is a superb flying machine capable of responding to the flyer's lightest touch, extremely maneuverable and perfectly suited to its function. The generic name for a kite in India is Patang.
Kite flying festival, Uttarayan, Makar Sankranti, is probably the only festival in this country, which is a traditional one, in which all people from all religion in our country participate. All ages, right from a kid of 5-6 ages to an old man like me, 75. We are all flying kites with great enthusiasm.
Indian kites are now on a very innovative streak. The kite enthusiasts are exploring many non-conventional designs and styles in kite making. Having brought wonderful creative developments in all aspects of kite designing, Indian kite makers are reaching international standards. Kite flying is one of the few special passions that are spread all over the world. There is no better way to express and share cultural values than to get together and release our sense of beauty to the same one sky. So, people from a number of countries get together at kite festivals to share their immense love for kites. India has been a forerunner in celebrating the passion for kites. The vibrant Gujarat International Kite Festival invites a number of kite enthusiasts from countries like the United States of America, United Kingdom, France, Indonesia, Turkey, Singapore, Lebanon, and a lot of other countries. These kite lovers gather from almost all parts of the world to share their passion for the art of kite making and kite flying. There are many interesting differences in all aspects of kite making and kite flying as we observe the traditions of different countries. The Indian festival of Makar Sankranti is devoted to kite flying. The Indonesian leaf kite was largely used and is still used for fishing. Large bird-shaped kites are a specialty of Bali. In Bali, large bows are attached to the front of the kites to make a deep throbbing vibration. Traditional Malaysian kites are also very decorative and they reflect a lot of characteristics of their country. In Vietnam, kites are flown without tails. Instead, small flutes are attached, allowing the wind to hum a musical tune. Japanese kites are one of the most expressive kites. They wonderfully express their culture, tradition, history, and fantastic imaginativeness. Every kite has a very specific meaning ingrained in its artistry. Every kite seems to have a story to tell. Japan's kites are among the most visually exciting and interesting kites in the world, treasured as much for the aesthetic worth as for the pleasure they give as toys. The traditional kite consists of a light bamboo or wood frame over which is affixed a very strong paper painted with various bold motifs, especially faces of legendary war heroes. Many of these kites require considerable skill in handling if they are to be airborne successfully. Japanese kites possess a history of association with folk religion and figure in a number of famous military adventures. Today's kites are a source of pleasure for this reason as well, for they draw upon and to some extent preserve traditional legend. The kites in Western countries like the United Kingdom, the United States of America, France, Germany are high-tech, unlike the traditional kites of other countries. They are made from materials such as spinacle, nylon, etc. Fiberglass tube, carbon tubes and other such connectors are used to create two-dimensional and three-dimensional kites. The way of releasing the string and the shape of the spools in many countries is remarkably different from the traditional Indian styles. These donut-shaped spools are called hoop spools. They are very light, easy to carry and also give a comfortable grip. One of the most fascinating things about kites is that one can set free his imagination and let the creative instincts do wonders with just some simple materials. Fairy tales come alive with flying monsters, swaying fishes and flowers in the sky. Animals and birds painted by the colors of fantasy and inanimate shapes brought to life. Kite flying is relished as a sport in a number of creative ways in many parts of the world. Kite surfing or kite boarding is a surface water sport that uses wind power to pull a rider through the water on a small surfboard. Kite surfers change kite size and line length depending on wind strength. Stronger winds call for a smaller kite to prevent overpower situations. A kite buggy is a light, purpose-built vehicle powered by traction kite. It is single-seated and has one steerable front wheel and two fixed rear wheels. Hang gliding is an air sport in which a pilot flies a light and unmotorized fruit-launchable aircraft called a hang glider. Pilots usually control the aircraft by shifting body weight. The pilot wears a harness and is hung beneath a lifting wing by flexible straps. Continuously developing technology is harnessing the potential of kites for commercial and developmental purposes. Kites are largely used for promotional purposes. companies buy large quantities of kites that feature their advertisement. Both air and hydro kites are used to generate electricity. The kites are set in the stream of air or water. Various schemes are used to extract some of the stream's energy for converting that energy to electricity. Kite flying may be just considered as a recreational activity, but if all the ways in which it is harnessed all over the world is studied, then one realizes its importance in the culture and industry all over the world. It is an extraordinary example how just simple work of art can be exploited for recreation, business, technology, and most importantly, uniting the world. Art, beauty, freedom, expression, all that the kites represent is all that the world needs to be together. There can be no better reason for people to unite than to come together to express their emotions under one sky. Each and every kite festival is not just a celebration of the love of kites. It is also a celebration of our open minds, as open and welcoming as the free sky.
Sky of Ahmedabad is the capital of the world sky. We are proud of it. I'm Indian and I'm Gujarati.
My name is Derek Coon. I come from England. My specific town is Solihull, which is almost exactly in the centre of England, so it's always a long way from the beach. The reason that I'm here in India is I have a grand passion, and my passion is for kites. And I make kites, I fly kites, I talk about kites, I teach kites, and I'm very much involved in the world of kites. It's an absolutely fascinating subject.
Is it for the first time that you have come for this festival?
No, I've been to India now, this is my 6th time in India, since 1993. And I enjoy this so much. Indian kites are very, very significant in the world. The Indian fighter kite is actually the world's most popular kite. There are so many made every year, so many flown. And for us, the kite flyers, it is very significant and a great honour to be here and be part of this fantastic festival we have. And our contribution to that is to bring the kites of our country, myself from the UK of course, and share with the people of India our particular expression of that passion.
Kite to me to make me happiness and also for sport and make me sometimes. I mean in Bali we are flying kite for make a God happy. After harvest we are flying kite to make a God happy, and we are make a more harvest more good, and the attitude for the terrace rice is more good, also taste of the rice is good.
Any message that you would like to give to the Indians?
Yes, I think you are a good country. You have the heritage. You must keep the heritage for the kite. It is good for you because the India, you care about India. I love India.
Yeah, I'm Carl Longbottom from the UK. No, I've been here 7 times before. I enjoy coming. It's not as popular as India, but we have lots of festivals, but much smaller. Maybe 30 or 40 flyers at each festival, but many of them, every weekend. Most of the time we got room on place, but the place moves around the country. So sometimes in the south, sometimes the north, east or west. That's right, yes. It was made for a competition in Weymouth in England earlier on this year. So it's a recycled kite. Yes, we're using it for a second competition. The unique thing is there's these panels made of mesh. These panels made of mesh here, so the wind can blow through. And the mesh sparkles in the sun. As the sun catches, it changes colour. Yes. I don't know what it's called, but it's very difficult to work with. It's very, very soft. I'm alongside as well.
You have flying.
I'm Elif Zaman from Turkey. This is my first time in Ahmedabad. It's very big honor being here. Thank you for organization. I have been building kites for just 1 year. I love building kites because while I'm flying kites, I feel very free and happy. And I made this kite by using sellotape. This sellotape and these fabrics. And it took 4 days to make it. I always make this kind of kites. The reason I make this kind of kite, I wanted to make kites, but the other materials were very expensive in my country. So I wanted to make another idea, and I find this. Yes.
My name is Sami. My name is Rami. Rami. We both from Lebanon.
This kite is made by you.
Yes. This kite has been made by me, and it represents the Lebanese flag. It has the Lebanese cedar, which is the symbol of our country, the cedar tree.
In your country, you have these kite festivals
We have a kite festival every year in July, International Kite Festival
in July.
in July.
And many of these kiters come to Lebanon also for the kite festival.
This one I like it very much because it's one of my first kites.
Okay.
And we're talking about a kite that's 15 years old or more. I made it in 91, 92. How many years is this?
16 years.
16 years, yes. So this is right. I mean, you know, with the time you have a relationship with the kite. Every time you fly it, you have souvenirs everywhere in the world. You fly it and you remember things with it. Well, through what we were saying, one sky, one world, we hope that there will be someday no more borders and only one sky for everyone, one world, because we're on this one world and we don't need to fight all the time.
And it's always a pleasure and an honor to be here, really. I mean, India is the best place for meeting people and for meeting the beautiful people of India. Really, we really love it. We enjoy it. It's nice. We look forward every year.
And this is why we've been here for the third time and second time.
Yes, my name is Gadis Widyati from Singapore. Yeah, I'm very happy to be here. This is my 6th time to come to Ahmedabad. I'm really waiting every year. I don't want to miss even one to come here. It's very impressive. It's a festival. I couldn't find it in all over the world. It's really a message about the peace, you know. So I have a poem. It's about the speak in the Malay language, you know. Kalau tidak karena layang-layang, takkanlah saya melayang sampai di sini. Kalau tidak karena kawan, takkan saya senang bermain layang-layang dengan kawan-kawan di sini. So maybe I can translate in English. If not about the kite flying, I'm not come flying in here. It's not about our friends. I'm not happy to be friend in here.
My name is Dom Martin. I come from France.
And this kite is being made by you?
Yes, I make this type of kite. I make a different type of kite.
What does this symbolize?
This is a Maya god.
Maya god.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. From Guatemala.
France, there are kite festivals.
Yes, in France, during March, April, Juni, every weekend we have a different kite festival. So yes, it's my job. I make kite and I keep the kite making. My only one message is peace on the world. Stop everywhere. Stop every crazy attitude.
I have a very important message actually, and it is a saying that the kite flyers of the world have, and it is also an event which has the same name, and this happens on the second Sunday in October every year, where all the kite flyers of the world fly their kites, and the event is called One Sky, One World. I'll say that again, it's One Sky, One World, and you can have an imagination that if everybody in the world stands in their favourite flying place, on their roof, in their park, on the beach, wherever they are, on this one day and fly their kite, and you can think about all your friends around the world who you've met flying their kite at the same time. Isn't that a wonderful message? One sky, one world. The air, the sky between us is common. It knows no boundaries, it knows no religion, no colour, no race. Isn't that a wonderful thing? One sky, one world. That's the message.
Let us release together the kites of our vision. Together, on the same ground, together reach the same height.